And good morning to everyone. Hey, it's your host Matt Morgan, and you are listening to the latest episode of Car Musings. It's raining today, in case you're wondering what the pitter patter and ting 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 and everything else is going on. But yeah, it is raining today. It is a rainy, cold fall day. Although, looking at your calendar, you're like, it's not fall, Mad Morgan, it's winter. Well, we've had that discussion. Please check other episodes. Anyways, how's everybody doing today? How are you holding in there? How's your integrity? Always the question I want to know. Are you doing the right thing? Only you will know in your heart of hearts. But hey, stay on the right side of things. At the end of the day, you know for a fact you did it all right. If everything blows up, at least you did it all right. And that's something to be proud of. That's something to have your head held up high and you go, yeah, I'm good. I did it right. There's something to be proud of when it comes to that. Doing it right. So, I had a major blowout yesterday with somebody. Well, I wouldn't say major, but still a blowout because I don't understand the logic flow of some people. It doesn't make sense to me when people wave their hands up in the air and just say, whatever. Oh, I worked this hard, but I'm just going to give it away. That doesn't make sense to me. If you work hard for something, you should take care of it. If you work hard for something, you should defend it. If you work hard for something, why should somebody else be able to come around and take it away from you? To me, it doesn't make sense to me, right? If you work hard for something, you take care of it. You nourish it. You value it. You do whatever you can to protect it, whether it be family, whether it be whatever. Now, some people are on this divide of, well, items are items, they can be replaced. Well, not every item can be replaced. And I'll tell you from my own experience, from a family that's been fucked over a couple times when previous generations have passed on, because some vulture would come around in my family's senior years and pick at the carcasses, so to speak, and steal all our family heirlooms, and steal all our nest eggs or our stuff put aside for us. Had that happen with my grandparents, um, and also, well, my great grandparents and my grandparents. My great grandparents, it was actually the local police fire chief or whatever that came in and befriended my great grandparents and got them to sign everything over to him. With my grandparents, it was the neighbors decided to come over and fuck that over and steal from the family with that regards. So, I mean, just some examples of the fact is that I'm tired of losing out to some crook that's going to come around, some thief, whatever, some lowlife is going to come around and steal from the rightful owners or individuals that work hard for this stuff, like it's like it's trick or treating. It's like no. So I guess the question I'm posing today, and you're like, well, Mad Morgan, get on with it. I'm like, okay, here's the question I'm posing today. Canada, for some stupid reason, doesn't have a castle law, which doesn't make sense to me. You should have a castle law. You should be able to defend what's yours. You should be able to defend your house. You should be able to defend your family. This makes sense to me. If somebody crushes the threshold, if you legally are the ones that are allowed to be within that threshold, then hey, you should be able to defend it. You should be able to defend it. You should be allowed, in my opinion, and this is what I'm asking today, what your opinions are. You should be allowed to defend what is legally yours from some cretin, some lowlife scum coming in and just taking it from you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, the debate is, and this is, where a lot of the arguments and debates have gotten, is, well, it's only stuff. It can be replaced. I'm going to go save my life. So hang on for 1 second. So you're automatically assuming that some low life is going to get into your house, try to steal your shit, and you're automatically assuming that they are armed and are willing to kill you for it. That's a tall order. How good is your stuff that they're willing to kill for it? That's the question I have. And if your stuff is that good, then shit, it's worth defending, I would say too. On the opposite side of things. Now, in the last 5 years, there's been a lot of defunding the police. Okay, a lot of people bitching and complaining. They caught this little key buzz phrase, and everybody's, well, not everybody, but the ignorant have been using it. Defund the police. Okay, well, that's really great. So now, if you call the police in an emergency situation, they don't have the resources because they're dealing with bigger crimes because of, all the shit that we let go on because our government sucks. They're trying to juggling that stuff like 1,000 processes with only 100 people, and because they don't have the funding. So it's going to take hours upon hours to get the resources and any sort of officer to be able to come help you. At that point, your complete life is turned upside down. Everything you've worked for has been ransacked. All your valuables, all your sentimental items, everything else have been looted. Oh, great! You walked away with your life. But the emotional and mental strain that's been put on you now because you decided that, oh, I'm just going to save my life. I'm going to walk away and let them do whatever they're going to do, and I'll come back later and rebuild. I don't fucking think so, in my opinion. No. Why should I rebuild? Why don't these crooks that should have built their own lives and worked hard to get their own shit, why should they just be able to come in and benefit from my hard work, my efforts, my blood, sweat, and tears? Fuck no. Fuck no. And then at the end of the day, I still have to have the peace of mind that thinking that this won't happen again. I'm sorry, but I would have a bigger peace of mind, and I'd feel a lot more secure knowing that I defended my home, and my castle, that I defended it and thwarted off any sort of attack, any sort of violation, because that's going to let the next crooks know. That's going to let the next idiots that try to get these stupid fucking ideas, get them rethinking about it, and not having that smart idea, because you know what? If you know that some motherfucker is armed and fucking ready for you and willing to freaking take you down, you're going to think twice about freaking breaking into their house. You're going to think twice about trying to threaten their lives and their families. You're going to think fucking twice. If you know at the other side of that fucking house, the other side of that door, there's some fucker with a fucking 12 gauge and he's waiting for you, and if you think you're just going to walk right in and do whatever you want to do, I'm sorry. That's not happening that way. As much as you would like it to. But if you present yourself as a fucking weak, injured friggin' animal and are just willing to run away scared, well, fuck, you're easy pickings. You're easy pickings. They've done it once, they'll come around again. Especially if it's a good payday. They're like, oh, fuck, let's go back to Jim Bob's. Let's go back to Jim Bob's and, and help ourselves again. You know what I'm saying? Like, set the fucking precedence. I mean, I'm going to say a lot of this scum that's coming from third-party fucking uncivilized parts of the world that are coming to Canada are laughing at us because in their countries, they'd lose a hand, they'd lose a limb, they'd lose their life. If they did half the shit that they do here, they're coming here, it's like it's fucking Disneyland. Like, holy shit, these fucking Canadians, they're fucking pushovers. I'd probably steal from them and fuck up their lives and they still say sorry. Yeah, I'd be laughing at me too. And the government's conditioning us that, we shouldn't do this, that, and everything else. The logic flow in some of the most intelligent people I know is completely backwards. Oh, you're gonna shoot somebody? Yeah, motherfucker, I'm gonna shoot somebody. If they threaten the lives of my family, I'll be put away. I don't care. Put me away. If I'm defending my family and my loved ones and I gotta fucking take some lives, and who's to say I'm gonna take any lives? Do you think anybody is going to stand against me in a court of law if I said, yes, they threatened the lives of my loved ones, they raped my dog, they fucking trashed my place, they did this, did that, did all these violent acts? Do you think any reasonable judge is going to blame me for blowing somebody away? Well, not purposely. I'm gonna shoot off some limbs and make them suffer, of course, make them think about their actions. But yeah, I don't think any judge would persecute based on valid self-defense. I'm not saying go on a rampage and just kill for the sake of killing. I don't want to kill. I never said anything about wanting to kill. I said wanting to defend. And if you can really distract somebody from wanting to continue with their actions, you're going to. And that should be considered legit. What's the stupid Canadian ruling of equal force? Okay, so you're coming at me. There's 5 of you. What's considered equal force against 1? Okay, well, I'm going to say my shotgun is probably on par, if not less, than the 5 of you coming at me. Okay, fair enough. I think we're equal force. If anything, maybe these intruders actually have a more of an advantage. But I'll have a little faith in the shotgun as a distraction. And yeah, I'm going to shoot a limb off or something like that. Anything I can do to not take your life, because I don't want to take your life. It's a matter of defense. It's not a matter of friggin' being the one that's hunting people. No, you're not doing that. You're defending. And let's make sure, in case there was a misstep on words, the key thing is here's defending. Defending. Because I'm not waiting 2 hours for the cops to come while the rest of my life gets torn away. Who's going to care at that point? Nobody's going to fucking care. Oh, sorry, can you give me a list of the stuff that you lost that you'll never see again? Fuck no. Why weren't you here 2 hours ago? I fucking pay your salary because I pay taxes. Don't get me wrong. I support law enforcement. We need more of it. But the point is that, only so much that they can do. I'm sorry, but law-abiding citizens, now I'm going to repeat this, law-abiding citizens who are trained and who are licensed to be able to have armaments in their household, by all means, should be given, because you have to be clear-minded and a clear record to be able to have such licenses, to be able to own such things. It's not like we're just giving it to fucking some loser. Like, we're giving it to tried, tested, true, licensed, outstanding citizens. So, yeah, let's think about this one for 1 second. We're not giving it to criminal scum. We're giving it to people that have been vetted and everything else. There's a process. This is why it's so hard to get a gun license. So, let's just think about this one for 1 second. And they're wanting to defend themselves. So obviously there's a rational mind in this. It's not I want to blow away the asshole that broke my window and got into my house. No, you basically are looking to defend. That's it. And if the sheer vision or sounds of a shotgun, do not deter somebody, that person is friggin' on. They're in it like stupidly. Like, let me tell you, if I walked into a place that I wasn't supposed to be, and I heard that familiar click of a shotgun, oh, I tell you, I would be turning around and walking away. That, to me, that would be its own deterrent. Its own deterrence would be hearing that sound. And if somebody breaks in your house and they're not deterred by that, okay, they're looking to do a lot more than steal your allowance. I'll tell you that right now. They're looking for a lot more than stealing your allowance. So keep that in mind. You got to understand the psychology in all this, because there's going to be an impact on those individuals whose houses were violated. There's going to be a mental and emotional. It's not going to be easy to recover if they just turn over and take it. You got to think about that one. There's more of an impact on that. And the fact that it took 2 hours for law enforcement to get there, if anything, that's going to create a bigger opposition towards law enforcement. So, where's the win on this? There's no fucking win on this. The only win is to be able to give law-abiding citizens the ability to defend themselves and their house and their home. Okay? All in all, that settles the matter. It really does. Oh, you want to split hairs, the fine line, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's fine. You can do all that. You can think of all the technicalities, all that crap. But at the end of the day, really logically put the pieces together and think about it for 1 second. Just fucking think about it. Now, I don't like to come down on a country that I was born and raised in, but this country's starting to suck. And I'm starting to look at the opposition whose views are kind of getting more aligned on mine. Right now, the Liberals are in power. And I'm sorry, but they're really dropping the ball and they're really fucking things up. They're doing construction on Parliament Hill, and I think they're thinking about their own defense. The higher up politicians and shit like that. I would, if I had to guess, from what I understand about the construction that's going on in Parliament Hill, they're building some sort of safe room military bunker or whatever. Which, if anything, please see previous statement about defense. If anything, you would think that if they're building a military and if they're building defense, why the hell would you take guns away from Canadians? So it doesn't make sense. So you're building your military up, but at the same time, currently Canadian laws are taking guns away. Are they trying to take the guns away out of the citizens to put them in the hands of the soldiers? It makes me, this is a serious question. I'm wondering, because it doesn't make sense to me why, I'm trying to put all the pieces together of why changes and everything else. And then, of course, regardless of that, regardless of the stupidity of our politicians willing to disarm Canadian citizens, because the criminals are not getting disarmed. The criminals will have guns, and they'll have illegal guns, and they won't be trained and have the mental ability to understand the guns. Blah, 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 blah. So that's a whole different episode we're going to do. But, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why decisions are being made the way that they're being made. Especially when you hear an increase of home invasions. When you hear of an increase of crime. When you hear of all this crap like that. And yet we're not getting more law enforcement on the streets. We're not getting more funding for law enforcement. We're not minimizing those downtimes of those calls from 2 hours to 2 minutes. Once that happens, when I can call 911 and say some motherfucker's breaking into my house and threatening my family, I want a cop there within 5 minutes. I don't want a cop there in 5 hours to pick up the pieces just to do the paperwork. Fuck that. I want to be like, okay, you see this motherfucker is under my foot that's on my front lawn? Hogtied? Yeah, he's missing a leg, but regardless of that, this is what he did. This is the actions. Fill out the paperwork, take the fucking body away. No, he's still alive. I just deterred him. Equal force. And there you go. I would say that's one lesson that motherfucker's not going to freaking, he's not going to forget it. And he himself will definitely be distracted about trying that shit again. And people he associates with might just be distracted about trying that shit again too. I think that sends a really good message. And not only that, hey, guess what? In the long run, that actually assists law enforcement because guess what? Less idiots doing this kind of shit, less violent crime, less calls they have to come to, win-win situation, everything's good. And you know what? In a world with 8 billion people, what's a few less idiots on the street? I don't see where because if somebody has the mindset to do that and violate somebody's home, violate somebody's castle, threaten somebody's family, take everything that they worked hard for, then obviously they're scum and don't deserve to live. And they don't deserve to be here. But I'm not saying we should have the right to take other people's lives. Let's make sure we correct that right now before you get any stupid notions to put that forward. It has nothing to do with taking lives. Regardless of the fact that I don't think that they're fit to actually exist, it doesn't mean I want to take lives, because I don't want to take lives. I want to deter somebody from going through with their emotions. So, to defend, but get them to think twice of their decisions and leave. Simple as that. And if I can get them to pay for the damage, that'd be even better, but I won't hold my breath. So, that's what I'm saying. Nothing about taking lives. I don't want to take a life. Why do I want to take a life? I want everybody to have the opportunity to straighten up from their fuck-ups. I want everybody to have the opportunity to do it right versus doing it wrong. You know what? You fuck up. You made bad decisions. Okay, fair enough. Correct your actions. Check yourself before you wreck yourself type thing. So, listen, Canadians and politicians, well, Canadians in general, use your voice for your home defense. Because it sounds really great in theory and moral. Oh, I'm just going to run away and, save my life. In theory that sounds great, but I want you to try to empathetically think about how your life will be afterwards, picking up the pieces, and how shitty you will feel, and how violated you feel, and how much that would really suck. I want you to try to think about that one for 1 second. Think about if you lost everything that mattered to you in your life, how hollow you would feel, how out of place you would feel, how devastated you would feel if that happened. Now, the person who violated your homestead is laughing. They don't care. To them, it's just stuff. It's stuff that they're going to sell. They're going to use it for drugs. They're going to use it for booze. They're going to use it for partying. They're going to use it for nonsense crap. 9 times out of 10, if they're willing to do that kind of action, they're doing it for stupid reasons. They don't care. For them, it's just an easy payday. They're fucked in the head to the point where they don't think about the consequences, about the impact on other people. Oh, it's covered by insurance. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. They have no sentimental attachments, no deep connection to anything. So you got to think about victim becomes a double, triple victim. Perpetrator doesn't care. It's just a good time for them. As sad as it is, I rather have the ability to stand up. Like, I love that. Even our national anthem is "On Guard for Thee." Well, who the fuck is on guard for us Canadians? Well, we're supposed to be on guard for the country. Who's going to be on guard for us Canadians? Us law-abiding, peaceful citizens. On guard for thee. Well, fuck you, on guard for thee. What am I defending if I can't defend my home? Is the country my home? Okay, great. How about everything else, though? How about my home? I don't want to defend the fields. I want to defend my home. Anyways, I pose a question to you. Would you stand up and defend your home when you run away like a little scared, bitch, for lack of a better word? Yeah, it's a little rough to say, but yeah, it's true. You're scared little, run away with your tail between your legs and everything else. No, you should defend to be able to deter anybody's notions to be able to do what they're thinking of doing. And Canada is basically cutting us off at the knees, saying, well, we're going to take away your guns. We're not going to take the guns away from, the criminals, but we're going to take it from the law-abiding citizens that went through a mountain of paperwork and trouble and background vetting and security checks and da-da-da-da-da-da. We're going to take it away from the most logically minded people that should have the guns. We're going to take that away from you. For whatever reason. Doesn't make sense. Our law enforcement, our peace officers are busy enough. Make it a little easier on them, will you? Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm not going to babble on this. Fuck, I went a little over time. But at the end of the day, I would say defend. Stand up and defend. I'm not saying let's go the U.S. route and go completely hog wild. But I'm saying we should have the right to defend ourselves. We should. The law should change. And people should smarten the fuck up. It's not just the politicians that are stupid making... Because you know who's making these rules? I will tell you who's making these rules. And I'm not afraid to say it. It is the element that is kind of in line with the criminals. And they want to make it easier on the criminals. So they want to take away any sort of defense that Canadians have. We have an invasion going. Please listen to other episodes. There's an invasion from foreign elements that have made their way onto our shores, and their people have made their ways into our ranks, into our government, and into their decision makers. They're going to disarm Canadians so they can arm their people to take over things. So that's another food for thought for another episode. Anyways, that's about it. Think about this one. Write your politicians. Cause a stink about it. Cause a fuss. Alberta has it right. At least they're standing the ground on being able to defend themselves. But the Canada in general should be able to. Shit's getting real, my friends. Shit's getting real. Don't hide your head in the sand thinking that everything's going to be great for the next 5 years. It's going to get worse. And I'm thinking you might just want to have... some say in it in some level. And deterring people from breaking down your door, is probably a good first step. Anyways, that's about it. Hey, I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Stay safe. Keep your integrity in check. Thank you for listening to this episode of Car Musings. And remember, it's not about hurting people. It's not about killing people. It's not anything about that. It's about defending yourself and defending your family and your livelihood is what we're talking about. And what we talked about today. Think about it for 1 second. There's a logic flow on for law-abiding, vetted citizens, long-term citizens that have been here for a while and truly have the value of this country and its people. Anyways, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thanks for listening to this episode of Car Musings. Love you for it. Thanks for being here. Keep your integrity in check. I'm going to go. I'm out. I will see you next episode. Bye for now.